Hi, I'm Carole. Welcome to my studio. I'm going to be doing an abstract today. As far as abstracts go, I find an abstract to be very difficult to think about painting, so I usually just mix my paints and start. And once I get going, and I do like to do it with music, once I get going, I kind of get the mood and then things happen. Those are my best abstracts. Planning an abstract with the drawing, I don't know, for some artists maybe it works. For me, it really doesn't, because I wind up not doing what I drew. So we'll see what happens with this one. But I will keep painting on it until I'm happy with it. That's for sure. And I hope I don't do a lot of cutting out of it, because I want you to see what you have to go through sometimes to get that final end result. If you get bored, you can always fast forward. So again, thanks for being here. I have one paint already mixed, and that's my base product that I'll be using quite a bit of this. This I'll be using to tone down a lot of my colors. And I want to keep it on the pastel side and keep it on the neutrals. Some light browns, creams, possibly a little bit of gold in there. But this one product here, I bought the paint at the hardware store, and it was a while ago, so I can't remember the name of it, but it's an acrylic based paint, and it has a frosty look to it. It's a cream color that's frost. And I like it because it really does a beautiful job on the base, and like I said, to put a glaze on top of some of the colors. Now this particular product right now is very, very liquidy, so I will be putting some gel in it. And I do use the golden heavy gel. As far as my paints go, I use everyone's paints. I have my favorites as far as what the colors are. And it depends on how I like what I've used in the past. And I find some colors to be more vivid, more heavy in color, and others to be more pastel. Again, with acrylic and with my abstract, I very seldom will paint right from the tube. I usually always mix my colors. This first mix of paint, I'm using the cream colors with the burnt sienna and some of the Indian red oxide blended together. This is going to give me a couple of different values that I'm looking for. Again, it's keeping on the warm side of the colors. I'm adding in some of the transparent brown and the crimson, that would be the liquid paints. And now I'm going with my white and my pearlized mix that I have in that bottle. I mixed in some Indian red oxide and now the cadmium yellow, blending it slightly. Now I'm mixing in the Prussian blue with the Indian red oxide. That'll give me a very dark, warm color. And the next I'm going to add in some of the Payne's Gray. I don't sand my canvas when I'm doing the abstracts. And of course I start painting on the canvas that has already been primed with the white gesso. I like to call this color kind of a cocoa brown. Very, very bamboo look. Giving it one fairly heavy coat. The acrylic paint does dry fast. Now I do have an extender mixed in with my paint also. That's to eliminate too fast of a drying process. Okay, I'm starting to add in my cream color. Here is where the composition of my painting is going to take its own form. I'm just going to be placing my different values of paints here and there on the canvas until I start getting the feeling of where to put in my short strokes of light and dark paint. So I think the best thing to do is just watch as I continue on with my selection. At this point in the painting, I'm starting to know where I'm going with this. I want to work my light colors in the center outward to the sides. And I decided to use short strokes, and a lot of them. And I will be going over some of them with more glaze. I've done a lot of the liquid acrylic pouring abstracts, so I know that the liquid paints that are put out by Golden, Da Vinci, and maybe a few others, they're very high in their level of concentration of pigment. So a little bit goes a long way, and that's why I did add that into my mixture of the dark paints. You can see that dark area on the left and a little bit on the right. It looks black. It's not black. It's actually like a brownish, bluish, dark color. It's, in real life, it's really a rich, beautiful color. This is somewhat of a tip that if you want to make your paint from the tubes even more rich in its color, you can add the comparable liquid color to it. That will definitely bring out a more bold, defined color. Okay, this is an important step right here that I'm doing. I'm going back over the first white layers that I painted with more of the same color, which is the pearlized white. And I'm going over it with the short brush strokes. I really want to make this pop in the painting. When you take a look at it, your eyes will go right to that white in the center. Notice right here, I'm giving it the 3D dimensional look by adding the dark brown here and there in the interior of the white area. It's giving it a lot of depth in the painting. See, there we go right there. At one point of the painting, I added one glaze of red-orange in about 3 or 4 different areas of the painting. Now I'm coming back and putting in a darker shade of the red. I know at this point that I don't want to overwhelm this painting by putting in too much red. I just want a glimpse of it. That's it. I'm pretty close to done with the red. I also added a little bit of the yellow, pretty close to the red area. Just a touch, not too much. I'll eventually glaze over that yellow with my pearlized white. Now I'm going to add in some of the violet color and top it off with the pearlized white. This is a mixture of the Payne's gray and the white. I've got a little bit going in just about 3 to 4 different areas on the canvas. A very small amount. Going in with the darker Payne's gray now. I like to make my abstracts interesting. In other words, when you look at the painting, you've got a lot to look at. The different areas and the different colors, the different shades, different values. You could even pick out objects in it in a finished abstract. I'm coming to the close of this painting. I just have the upper area to finish off, which I'll keep the same technique going upward. But I'm thinking of a name, and what comes to me in looking at the painting when I stand back, I think I'll call it Redwood. These are close-ups of my brush strokes. If you enjoyed this video, please comment and like. I would love to have you subscribe so you'll get notification of the next painting that I do. And again, thank you so much for spending time with me today.